A note payable is basically an IOU. It is a written promise to pay a certain amount, and interest is always attached to it. It's part of current liabilities because it will always be due within a year or the company's operating cycle. If it's something that's longer than that, and some notes do go beyond a year, it will be part of long-term liabilities and not current. In this case, a note is given to extend the credit period. Someone can't pay their account payable in the time period that it's due, and so they ask the company if they will accept a note in place of it. With an account payable, there will be no interest. With a note payable, they will. So they simply debit the account payable to wipe that off the books and replace it with a note payable, and since there was some cash involved, they also credit the cash. Now this is on the side of Brady that you're seeing in this journal entry. They're getting rid of their account payable, they're crediting cash because they're paying it, and they're crediting the note payable and creating a current liability to replace the current liability that they're getting rid of. When they pay this on October 22nd, they also have to pay the interest. The interest was stated as 12%. Recall that interest is always stated as an annual rate, and since this was 60 days, this note, you have to multiply the principal times the interest rate, the annual rate, times the number of days divided by 360, not 365, 360. And you get $10 worth of interest that the company is having to pay. So then they would debit notes payable to remove that liability, debit their interest expense for the interest, and credit cash for the total amount that they have to pay. A note given to borrow from the bank is a little bit different. This is an IOU, a promissory note, and this is really what it looks like. It has the date that it's written, it has the face value on it, tells you the period of time, the 60 days, and this person, Janet, is promising to pay the bank the $2,000 plus the interest at an annual rate of 12%. Interest is always shown at an annual rate. So if a company borrows $2,000 from the bank, this is the journal entry they would make. They would debit cash and credit notes payable. And then when they repay the note, they would debit the notes payable to remove the liability. Again, calculate your interest and using the same formula, and debit your interest expense, and then credit your cash for the total amount. If a note should go through 2 periods, at the end of the period you would have to make an adjusting entry. Not all notes are written on convenient dates, and they may not become mature until the next period. So during the period, you have to make an adjusting entry to bring it up to date. In this case, the company borrows $2,000 on December 16th, and it's going to have to pay it back in 60 days. For 15 days, from the 16th to the 31st of December, interest is accruing on that note. That is the expense of that period, so they calculate $2,000 times 12% times 15 days to get $10, and debit interest expense, credit interest payable instead of cash because they're not paying it then, they'll pay it when they pay off the note. Then on February 14th, when they pay the whole thing, calculate the rest of the interest expense, the other 45 days, get rid of the interest payable from up here, get rid of your note payable, the whole $2,000, and credit cash for the entire amount.